Okay, so I'm Douglas, and this presentation is about using Google Drive. So what are shared drives? A shared drive is a place where you can securely store your pictures, documents, and other files on the internet and access them from any device. You can share your files with family, friends, coworkers, and anyone else you'd like to share them with. So Google Drive is one of the more popular shared drive services, and it is developed by Google. It's used by many schools, businesses, organizations, and from people around the world. Google Drive has 16 gigabytes of free storage, and there's an option to pay an additional fee if you want to store more files. So here we will learn how to access Google Drive. So first you want to open up Google, of course, by double clicking Google Chrome or going to your web browser and typing www.google.com into the search bar at the top of the page.
Bentley.
Next, you need to look for a blue sign in button at the top right corner. If you see this, you need to click it. From there, you can log in if you already have a Google account or create one by pressing the Create Account button in the bottom left corner. So now that you're logged into your Google account, you should see a circular picture in the top right corner. This is usually your profile picture for your Google account. So if you have Google Chrome and you've opened up your web browser, you should already see this circle up here in the top right corner. So you can skip the last two steps. So from when you see this picture, you want to click on the grid to the left of it. This will bring up a list of Google applications. This will bring up a list of Google applications, and you want to select Google Drive from the list. And congratulations, you've successfully logged into your Google Drive. Now I will teach you how to use Google Drive. Okay, now that you're logged into your Google Drive, you will automatically be brought to a section called My Drive. This is where you'll be able to view all of the files you have saved in Google Drive. If you've never used a Google application, such as Google Docs or Google Slides, your Google Drive will appear empty. Otherwise, files you have previously created with Google will already be here. So to the left is a picture of what your drive might look like if you've never ever used a service by Google. But if you've used Google before and created documents, slides, spreadsheets, your Google will look full like this one on the right. Clicking the button in the top left corner that says New will bring up a variety of options you can select to add things to your Google Drive. This includes Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Forms, and uploading files and folders to your computer. To create a new folder in your Google Drive, you want to press the Folder button at the very top. Make sure to name your folder and click the Create button. After the folder is created, it will appear in the My Drive section under a header called Folders, just like here in the picture. Selecting File Upload or Folder Upload from the list will bring up a window containing your computer's files and folders. By clicking a file or folder and then selecting Open, the file or folder you selected will be added to from your computer to Google Drive. You may also select more than one file or folder. If you already have many files in Google Drive, it may be helpful to click the check mark in the box in the bottom right corner. This will bring you to the location of the file you have just uploaded. So this is about the Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Forms from the New button I was talking about earlier. So clicking any of these options will open up a Google application that you can use to create a variety of files, including documents, charts, slideshows, and more. Once you begin working on any of the applications, they will automatically save to your Google Drive after you close them. So below here are some pictures of how that would work. On the left is a document that I created, and on the right, after you close it, it will automatically save. So you don't have to be worried about losing your progress. As you continue to use your Google Drive, it will start to fill up with many files. This will bring up 3 new sections on your Google Drive: Quick Access, Folders, and Files. Quick Access will display recently edited files. Folders will show all of the folders in your drive. Similarly, Files will show all of the files in your drive. If your Google Drive starts getting full, you may want to organize your files in a certain way. One method is clicking the List View/Grid View button. This changes the way the files are displayed. So on the left here, this is what Google Drive looks like in grid view, because all of the files are just placed in a grid like this. But when you select the button at the top right corner that the arrow is pointing at, you can see that it changes all of the files into a list. Another way to organize your files is by clicking the Name button. This will bring up a number of different options you can sort your files by. Clicking the arrow button will sort your files in an increasing or decreasing order. So, for example, if you've sorted your files by name, it will start from A and go all the way down to Z. However, if you select the arrow button, it will reverse the order. So it will go from Z all the way to A. This can be done with other things, such as the date that you modified it. Adding files to folders. Sorting your files into folders is an efficient yet simple way to organize your Google Drive. You can do this by clicking, holding, and dragging any file into the folder of your choice. You can share files with anyone by right-clicking any file and pressing the Share button. From here, you have the choice to get a shareable link you can email to your friends, or to share it to their Google Drive directly by entering their email. Clicking the Shared with Me button will allow you to view a complete list of files that you have received from other Google Drive users. Visit this section if you are expecting an email from somebody you know. Clicking the Priority button will show you a list of recently edited files. You can also create groups of files called workspaces as a way to organize your Google Drive. To create a workspace, click the white Create button and name your workspace. After it has been created, you will be prompted to add files into it. This can be done by clicking the Add Files or Choose Other Files button and selecting files from the side. Press Insert to finish. The Recent section will display the most recently opened and edited files in your Google Drive. You can group very important files together by giving them a star. To do this, right-click any file in your Google Drive and then select Add to Starred. All starred files will appear under the Starred section. You can dispose of any files you don't want by moving it to the trash. To do this, right-click any file in your Google Drive and then select Remove. All removed files will appear under the Trash section. So this is similar to just the recycling bin on your computer, except it's only exclusive to Google Drive. Finally, the storage section will show you how much of your free 15 gigabytes you have used by displaying all of your files and how much each file takes up. Okay, it's okay, I'll explain it later. Now let's take a tour of Google Drive. Okay, so first I'll show you what to do when this is a brand new Google Drive account, so you've never ever used Google Drive before. So I'll show you what that looks like. So just like in the presentation, we're gonna select Sign In, and we're gonna log into our Google account. So I'll just type that in now. So as you can see, there is the circular picture that I was talking about earlier. So what we need to do is click this grid right beside it. This will bring up a list of the Google applications. Can everyone hear me okay? Can you hear me okay, Carly?
Yep, you're sounding good.
Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do is select this Drive button. This will bring us to Google Drive. And just like that, we're in Google Drive. So now what we can do, we'll create a new Google Docs. So see, it opens up a Google Doc for us. We can name this anything we want. So I will name this just any name you want. And see, we can type anything in here. Just type any random thing that we want. And then the nice thing about Google Drive is that you can close any of these documents, refresh, and your document will be there. See, this is the practice document that we just created. And it even tells us that I created it today. We can also create Google Sheets. Sorry. There we go. And it appears here. And the rest would happen for Google Slides and Google Forms. So pretty much any changes that we make to anything that we create will automatically be saved into here. So I'll just name these. And they will all be automatically saved here. So now I will show you how to create a folder since it's kind of getting crowded in here. So we'll call this folder work folder. Now the work folder appears right here in our Google Drive. So if we want to add some of our documents into this folder, we can go like this. We click, we hold without removing our finger from the mouse or your screen, and you drag it into the file, into the folder, just like this, and you let it go. And here it tells us practice document has been moved from my drive to work folder. So now we can practice with a few more, like this presentation here. Drag it in, click, hold, and drag. Now, when we open the work folder, we can see that all of the files that we added are in here. So now your drive will be more organized. If you'd like, if you'd like, you could also upload files and folders from your computer. So for this presentation, I'll just upload a file. So see, it brings up a list of all the files in your computer. You can just select one here. So I'll select, let's just go with this one. Oh, okay, we'll go with that one. So see, we can double click it, or we could go like this. File upload, select the picture, just like this, and press open. Oh, sorry, it's just a problem with my computer. So we'll try another file like this, and then press open. So now we can see that the files are in our Google Drive. We can also press the check mark, and it will bring us directly to the location of our file. This would be more useful if your Google Drive is more full. So I can show you that later as well. And that's pretty much it for the new button. So we could also check the recents. So this will show us all of the files that I've created and worked on recently. So see, today I created and added all of these files. Yesterday I added this one, earlier this week, last week, and it just goes on from there. So it will put it in chronological order for you. If we go back to Drive, let's say that this is a very important file to me. I need to send this to my boss by Friday. So what I will do to remind myself, I can right click and press this right here, add to start. One file added to start. So now I can go here and it's right in here. So now I know how to separate all of my important files. And let's say that I really don't like this document. It's really bad. So I need to get rid of it. So what we do, we right click it like this and we click the remove button. So see, it's been removed from our drive and moved into the trash bin over here. I moved a file there earlier. So we can also explore the storage. This will just show us all of the files that we have in our drive. You can see here the work form has the star because we started from earlier. So it will show us all of our files. And you have up to 15 gigabytes of storage in Google Drive. Now, if this is not enough for you, you have the option to buy storage. It will open up a new tab for you, and you have a couple of options here. But for most people, 15 gigabytes is a lot of storage because I have one for school. Here, I can show you right now. I have Google Drive for school. Pardon me. And it's really full. Like I have many files over all of my years in school, but I've only taken up 1.3 gigabytes over here. See, it says 1.3 gigabytes at the bottom, and I've only taken up that much after all those years. So 15 gigabytes should be a lot. One thing that is in this drive that wasn't in the last would be the priority tab. The priority tab usually appears after you've been using Google Drive for a while. So when it begins to fill up with lots of documents, you get this priority tab here. So here, it's very similar to folders. You basically create a workspace and title it, and this will help you separate your files according to different sections. So for one, I'll make one here. I'll call it Cyber Seniors Workspace. And as you can see, there's no files in here yet. It's completely empty. So all we need to do is add files. And from here, we can select all of the from here, we can select any files that we'd like to add into our workspace. So say I want to collect all of my, I don't know, we can just select a couple documents and place them into the workspace by pressing insert. So now, as you can see, all of the documents that I selected are in this workspace, and I can easily access it at any time by clicking the priority button, and it appears here. So I think the last thing that I want to show you guys is how to share documents. So this is very important if you want to share pictures with your loved ones, documents at work. It's very useful in any situation. So what we can do, we can find any file that we'd like in our Google Drive. So say I want to share this presentation with my friend. So what I will do, I will right click this file here. I'll press the share button. And from here, we get a couple of different options. So I can share directly by entering their email into here. So say I wanted to share it to this person right here. So what I can do, I can press up. Um, okay. So what I do first, I type in the email to here, and then I select it from this list. It will just confirm that it's a legitimate email. So now that it's selected in here, I have a couple of options. So I can make them an editor, which means they can change my presentation any way they'd like. So they can type, add pictures, delete things within the file. But say that I don't want them to do that. I could make them only a commenter. So they could leave helpful comments in my file to just help me make it the best that I can. But if I don't want them to do that at all, and I just want them to look at it, I could make them a viewer. So that way they cannot delete anything, add anything, or edit the file in any way. So for this presentation, I'm going to allow my friend to edit it. So I'm going to make him an editor. Over here, we can add a message, and they'll be able to view this message in their email. So I'll say, hello, check out my presentation. And then when everything is good, I can press send. So now if we go back to my other one, because that's where I sent it. If we go back into here and go into the shared with me section, you will see that the file that I shared is now in my Google Drive. So I can open it. Oops. I can open it and I can edit it any way I'd like. So I can add letters. I can delete pictures just like that. Oops. And I can just edit it any way I want. So one more thing I'd like to add, sorry, is that if you okay, no, sorry. Oh no, that's about it. Okay, that's it. I'm so sorry. Okay, thank you. That's all from me.